Hi, so we will be reviewing the ES futures session today. Hi, so I trade primarily in the price and volume chart trading process using a Wyckoff method. So I don't use any of the indicators. You can see my chart has only the price bars and then the volume underneath that. So okay, I'm primarily will be focusing today on the US session, but I'll just quickly review on the overnight session. Overnight you can see it tried to break the yesterday's high, which is my gray line. You can see that the gray plus line is yesterday's high, and the blue one is 2-day high. So it tried to break it, it couldn't, and then it went all the way, and then down, came down, down, and this is all overnight session. The overnight and the European session. So that's why I'm not going any in detail. So and then it tries to hold it just above the yesterday 2-day high, and it tries to consolidate. It start moving sideways, and then test the see this one. This is touching now, testing this one, and as it comes up. So this is the so we're getting slowly into US session. So I'm in Pacific time zone. That's why you see all those timings are PST. So 5 PST here. So what happens here? So the morning, it's just this a little bit here. So okay, so the morning around 5 Pacific timing, a little demand appears. See this one? It starts going up, and suddenly the selling appears. So right, so at this time, by this time, it's basically rejecting a swing high, right? Previously swing high, but the background has a little demand. That is why. But given that a volume popping volume, this volume has significantly higher compared to these previous bars. I know it's too small to read, but it's just saying that the volume is higher, and then it couldn't break the resistance, which is this one, and then closed below this one. At this factor, my it's a good fight, but a kind of selling is winning. But suddenly the news happened, right? So I think there was some employment news that came up. The jobs are not the employment, the jobs news that came up, which propelled the bar to a significant high, right? But see what happens is, like, the volume is extremely high, compared to all of these bars, right? So it's a very high, and you can see there is one swing high. This is important because if you see this one, right, this is around this area comparatively where it tried to hold in the morning session, and then it tried and tested this one and couldn't break it, right? But it made a new high at that time. That's why I had this line here instead of from here, drawing a resistance line from here. When it broke, it kind of closed above. So that's why I removed this line and then made a new resistance lines here, right? And as you can see, so what happens is, right, so this one breaks, tests the yesterday's high, right? Same thing, yesterday's high. Again overnight it tested here too. Remember this one? It tested and then broke and then came back, right? Again this time it tests that area and then closes below our resistance line. Okay, so meaning what? At the end of this bar, sellers are proving very strongly themselves, and when such strong selling happens, right, you can see a good momentum downwards. So it's okay. So and typically when it closes below the resistance, means sellers are proving that this resistance line is very strong. So typically you can take a shot immediately. I know this is a little bit risky play, because you will see such a strong demand, and then it's see the bar closed from here to here, right? So you will think that, okay, I'm scared, not today. That's fine. But such long bars, when the story says that, okay, it got rejected here previously, the overnight where it got rejected and then closed below the resistance line, this is a good place you can take a shot, right? So, and as you can see, I mean, yeah, this is too early for me. Like, I don't wake up like 5:30. I wake up, but like I don't start trading at 5:30. But so if you're an EST, you can see that you've been trading, you can trade this one. But as it starts coming down, it tests this lows, And then as you can see there, it starts coming down, bars are closing in the middle, closing in the middle, closing in the middle. And then there is a shortening of thrust. When I say shortening of thrust, see the closes, it only came here. From here, see, with this all this volume, it only closed here, like a little bit compared to this close versus this close. See this close versus this close, it's so little movement, right? And this close versus this close is so little movement, and also the volume has increased. And why? If after all this volume, significant increase in volume in this bar, the bar closed, moved only this much at the end of the bar, meaning that buyers are coming into picture. Basically, demand is coming into picture here. When I say demand, it means buying, supply means selling. So but still it's not tradable, we don't trade a we look up we trades kind of a thing. Typically we wait for more confirmation and do that one. So as it starts coming up, see the 630 bar comes around this one, comes to the lower level, test this area again, and then booms up, right? So by this time you know that okay, demand is in picture, demand is in the background, right? So buyers are in the background. So this bar kind of tries to a little bit close down with a little small supply, but it is okay, it's still not like threateningly kind of a long wall like high volume bar. Again, what happens the next bar? Still none of these are tradable, like not like you can trade, like for example you can trade around this area, putting up a limit, because by this time this is buying, so you can put a trade limit, but it's still a risky play. So again, so what happens, volume comes up, and then see the volume has increased and then came down and then pushed it up. But you see that one, the moment of all these three bars is only moved this much. Every time price should move. Like see this movement, like it should be moving like this. If it is not moving and then kind of holding only at this level, meaning there is at the top there is also some supply. Especially if this bar with such volume, if everything has been buying, right, it would have closed somewhere around here, right? But since it closed like kind of you see, this is almost 30% of the bar. That's a significant down move, meaning there is some selling. Just but there is some selling. It's like okay, out of this entire volume, the background is still demand. And remember that background is still demand, because one just small selling does not mean that it is like it is going to turn and then push back. The thought process is you need to be able to rate that okay, some selling is happening here, but not significant. So of course our target is where the resistance, right, where it has previously done, got rejected. So you go around this area and see as it starts coming up, you see that volume is declining in this bar. See this bar, volume decline. See in this bar, it even declined further. And then what happens in this bar? See this one, the volume increased, but bar closed closer to similar to this level. See, so all these closings are like side by side, meaning this is called a clustering of closes. But why did it only close it here? Because there is a selling. When it started going up, selling happened. Okay, by this time you can think that okay, with this small selling here, first sign of selling, and then this strong sign of selling, that okay, by this time sellers are in picture, sellers are in force now, and this bar happens, and then this will prove, this is like sellers are proving themselves now. And as it comes back, right, you can put up a limit order around this area, around the top, right? So as because this volume is declining, and then this is where you put up a short order. All right, so and then because or like even if you don't put up limit order here, you can see, you wait for the close of this bar, that by this time the volume is low, and then it is testing where the previously the suppliers are proved themselves here, like these all these bar suppliers are proving, right? When it came back to the area, suppliers proved themselves again by pushing it down, right? So this is where you can take a shot, because by this time the background is supply, and then this is a low volume bar. Then we'll see this one comes up, and then as you can see it starts testing around, this comes up, and then as it starts coming down, and then as it starts coming pushing up, you can exit out, or even you can wait for the close of the bar to exit. See, the point here is now that the previously this had a strength, right? And this one, so it came up around this area, and then close it. So closed above, and then see the volume has increased. The bar came down and it kind of closed towards the highs of the bar, right? So meaning that the wall are strong buyers are came up, right? So and so as you can see, the next bars has rapidly moved up, super moved. Okay, so this is the one that okay. So now you would you buy this one? No, I may not buy this one because of this background is still a supply. That is the reason why I would not buy this one yet. Okay, but some people, you can say that, okay, hey, this, you see by this time, most of the bars around this are like buying zone. You can put an order, but still I risky play, placing in long order here. So what is the best bet, right? Once it breaks down, once it breaks down the resistance, if you have seen my previous videos, you will see that I always say that I will not trade immediate. As soon as it breaks, I put a long order here. I would wait for a weak pullback like this one. See how it broke with a strong volume, but next two bars, see this one, see these two bars has a low volume compared to this bars, the breakout bar, and then also it closed above, nightly closed above this one. So after this bar, you can put a limit order around this resistance, around this support area, and of course your target is what? Your target is this. Yes, it is high. As you see, it hit the target, and then you're out, because by the time you know that there is some selling happening here. In fact, I would be out even in this bar itself, like because of the volume. See that volume? I would be out of this bar, because if within this bar I would know that there is some selling, because of the almost this volume is three times the volume of this bar. But see, the move has happened. This, so suppose this one moved, let's say, at 1 meter, right? This one kind of moved only like 2 meters. How if the volume was almost three, four times, it should have moved, like even broken this one, but still did not move that much, right? Because there is some selling, subtle signs, right? But still, like, I would be putting up my sell order around this, a few points, few ticks below this one, and then it would have picked up here again. So as you can see, this broke the resistance and then closed below. So but see this one, the volume here has significantly increased, meaning the sellers came up, right? So sellers came up and then pushed it down, bought all of them, whoever is buyers, and let's say second also pushed it down. And then as it comes closes below this one, but you see, this is not, any of these are still not tradable. It's still a risky play. And then it comes down, and then as it starts coming down, look at this volume. The volume has significantly declined. See this, the declined volume compared to this one. And then where it is happening, it is happening where the previously strong selling has happened. See, this is all selling, this is all selling, right? And this is where in one of these two bars you can take a short, because it means that there is no bias left now, and then you are in the area of previous selling zone, and then you can take a short. That is how you read the charts. You don't take the first trade when you see this supply, first instance of supplies. You wait for it to test where the supply has happened previously, or you wait for it to test where the demand has happened, like in this case, right? See this one, previous supply has appeared again, you're testing here. Okay, so you can take this one. See, as soon as these bars are appearing here, you can exit, because it's a clustering of process. It did not go in three bars, it did not go anywhere. So again, so there is a slight movement here, good movement here, but still, like, it is not it's just an average volume, and then nothing. It's like kind of everybody's kind of making some progress, but still, like, it's just like a week. As it starts going down, it's just like a choppy move, not choppy move, I would say, because it has good moves actually. So this one just going up without, so, but there is no trade, nothing trading. See this bar, suddenly the volume comes up and then touches this one, pushing down. By this time, you know that this all this area is supplies, right? So as soon as this one comes, hits here and then closes down, you know that one, because of this weak push. Like if it had, the buying has been strong, like this one, see the strong buying versus this buying, it's kind of not that strong. So the by this time it touches here and it starts going down, you can take a shot here. Okay, see it comes down, then closes here. So in this one of these three bars, you can observe as it starts clustering across this. See the volume suddenly increased, meaning what buyers came up and then pushed it above, almost double, almost one fifth, one and a half times the volume of previous bar, and then bar went nowhere because buyers came up and pushed back. So again, so as it starts going up, you see this one. So this is not easily tradable. I mean, you could say that hey, why can't I take a trade on this bar like short one? See this, each bar is making some progress here. These three bars, when such progress is making, even spite of the declining volume, right? You have to be cautious. So that's why you wait for the actual supply to prove themselves. You see here, supply is proving themselves here. See here, supply is proving themselves here. See here, supply proved themselves here. When it came back to test that area, it's low. That is what we have to see. We don't just trade because the volume is declining. The main thing is, supply proving themselves, and then when it comes back to test again, this one, see, this one got rejected and then closed below. This is when you can take a shot. Of course, your target would be this, and again, this is a choppy move afterwards. Like, it kind of, nothing clear. It closed in the middle, closed in the middle, closed in the middle. Suddenly, the I think the when stimulus plan got rejected suddenly. It came down, and then kind of nothing clear. So we'll be staying in the sidelines. Thank you.